Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks got another rough outing from Zac Gallen, and we have a difficult discussion to have about their starting rotation. Plus, this game is still going on right now, and the Diamondbacks have bases loaded. So, can they pull off the comeback? We're going to be watching together live if they do. Don't you go anywhere. We're starting right now. And welcome into another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks mid-game, post-game show brought to you by our friends at Circle K. And we are here live from Studio K while this game is still in progress. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as your mayor of PHNX. And we were getting blown out. So Damon and I made the call to just go ahead and stop hitting ground wiffle balls in here in the office and start doing the post-game show. Welcome into all of you. Glad to have you here. I am with your dog, my dog, Damon Dog, on the ones and twos today. Damon Fairall, producing and co-hosting. Bark to you, Damon. Of course, this one was ugly, but the Diamondbacks are here trying
ugly,
to do
Derek.
something to here in the ninth inning, right? They've scored 2 runs late in the ninth inning to make this game, instead of a 7-1 game, a 7-3 game. And they are knocking on the door of possibly making this one interesting. But we already committed to going live, considering how bad things were looking. And the way that this Diamondbacks offense has been playing, it's reasonably fair to say that them being down 7-1 was almost a certainty for this offense to go down. But they just scored another run on a Gabriel Moreno sac fly to center field, and Nolan Arenado scored to make this a 7-4 game. They have a runner on first base with 2 outs, still down by 3 runs. Let's hope that, hey, let's extend this game. Like Sean says, extend the game, Jose, get on base, and give Waldschmidt a chance to become a legend like Jose Fernandez already is. But the Diamondbacks, again, right now are still in the process of losing by a score of 7-4. And the big story in this one is Zac Gallen and his performance today. Coming into the game, Dbacks starters had allowed 1 run or fewer in 6 of the last 7 games and owned an MLB best 1.51 ERA in that span, ahead of the Braves for the best span in baseball by a starting rotation. And meanwhile, Zac Gallen was the one outing there that they did not factor in. And now Zac Gallen tonight, once again, was not what the Diamondbacks needed from a starting pitcher. Zac Gallen got shelled by the Texas Ranger, and he continues to be a problem in their starting rotation. He gave up 7 earned runs in less than 5 innings pitched, and the D-backs get embarrassed once again here. But hey, at least now it's not an embarrassment. It's not 7-1. The Diamondbacks are at least mustering up some offense here late. But this is the PHNX D-backs post-game show, believe it or not, even though it's now become a watch-along. And the show is brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Go watch some games like this one and maybe stay until the end instead of starting your post-game show early. Go download that app and get yourself some tickets. Download the app today and use code PHNX365. Bet365, where winning is everything. We're also brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. And the Diamondbacks right now are down to their final strike in this one. But like I said, Zac Gallen has not been good today. He has, in fact, been an issue for this starting rotation. And I think we all know that the Diamondbacks have had some difficult roster decisions to make. We also know that they've received some amazing pitching performances out of guys we didn't think would be as good as they are. Michael Soroka and Eduardo Rodriguez continue to be outstanding, and they are a huge part of that stretch where D-back starters have allowed 1 run or fewer in 6 of the last 7 games. However, Zac Gallen, again, did not take very long to get the Diamondbacks in a hole in this game. In fact, it was just the second pitch of the game to Jock Peterson, and that one was hit for a 380-foot home run to right field. This game is now, unfortunately, a final, and the Diamondbacks have lost by a score of 7-4. And again, this one started off with Gallen just giving up runs early and struggling right out of the gate. Gallen, it looked like it was going to be bad right away, right? Gallen gives up, a home run to Jock Peterson of all people. Then he gives up a single to Brandon Nimmo. And I think that's when I just walked out of the office and I left and I went downstairs down to the street and just stayed downstairs on the street. What I missed was Zac Gallen then striking out the next 3 batters consecutively to close out the inning. And it looked like, again, even though it was a slow start for Gallen, he got himself back on track, and it looked like maybe that was it. Maybe that, maybe he got nicked up with that first batter, but then looked strong to close out the first inning. But then the second inning, it just started out the exact same way. It was another bad inning. In the second, he walks leadoff hitter Ezekiel Duran. He hits Alejandro Osuna, and then he gives up an RBI single to Jake Berger to make it 2-1. Then he gets a double play and a line out to get himself out of the inning, but you kind of feel like that double play is the only reason he made it out of the inning without giving up any more runs, and that was due to some good defense behind him and not necessarily what Zac was doing. He was not fooling anybody with his fastball. His slider was not landing anywhere close to the zone for it to be truly competitive. And even though he threw a very nice mix of pitches, it would seem like none of them were truly effective as far as Zac Gallen going out there. But it's his fastball. His fastball tonight maxed out at 95.2 miles per hour, which is great. But then it averaged 92.7, which is not well below, but like a whole 1 mile per hour below his normal average throughout the season. And again, he just didn't look competitive out there. He gets a clean inning in the third, but then just runs into more trouble in the fifth inning. Actually, in the fourth inning with 1 out, he did give up a solo home run to Ezekiel Duran. That made it 3-1. But the fifth inning is where it just all fell apart. He gave up a 1-out triple to Nimmo. There was a fielder's choice by Seager that scored Nimmo, and Seager did not get out. That made it 4-1. Josh Jung singled, and then there was another RBI single to make it another Duran RBI single to make it 5-1. And it's not great. Not great for Zac. Not great for this team. And he doesn't get out of the fifth inning. That's something that Diamondbacks pitchers have been able to do, including Zac. That snapped several streaks that the Diamondbacks had as far as their starting pitchers were concerned tonight. The Diamondbacks led in the MLB in quality starts over their last 7 games. The Dbacks had 7 straight starts of 6 innings for the first time since 2017. That was the longest current streak in Major League Baseball. And D-back starters had a franchise high tying 4 consecutive starts of 6 innings, one or fewer runs allowed, and 4 or fewer hits. A lot of words in there, and I'm bad at words. I'm also bad at reading sometimes. Diamondbacks were bad at offense tonight.
So it's not like you get paid to speak or anything.
Yeah, it's not like reading is a big part of my job or talking is the primary function of what I do with this stupid mouth. But I'll tell you, man, Gallen, I do think that there's going to be a very uncomfortable conversation to be had about Zac Gallen. And I mean, same could be said for Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly was outstanding his last outing, but we need to see him replicate that and show some consistency before I'm ready to deem Merrill fixed, right? But Zac has just not really been consistent all year or last year, and his some of his stats have been really, really bad as far as his fastball is concerned. He's just not effective as a pitcher, it seems like, anymore. He's definitely not the ace of the staff, and it's fair to say that when Corbin Burnes returns, there's a good chance that Zac Gallen could find himself the odd man out. Are the Diamondbacks willing to cut that kind of salary or put Gallen in the bullpen or do anything like that? I don't know. The last year when Gallen was actually doing better than he's doing this year, he had no trade value. So you don't really feel like Zac could, muster up a whole bunch of trade interest. But his last outing against Pittsburgh, he gave up 4 earned runs. The last outing before that against the Chicago Cubs, he gave up 6 earned runs. And I mean, again, Zac's had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outings this year that are less than 3 earned runs. But the majority of those, once again, the one was when he came out early. He only pitched 3 innings against the San Diego Padres. That was a loss. And then that was a Mexico City game 1. And, he just hasn't given the Diamondbacks more than 6 innings, more than twice this year. He's given the Diamondbacks 6 innings twice this year. I think that sometimes when it comes to the decisions being made by this team, I don't really feel, after seeing what they did with Alek Thomas, who we'll talk about later in the show, I don't think that they are shy about making whatever decision needs to be done in order to improve this team. I don't know what the answer is as far as Zac Gallen is concerned. And again, I mean, the Diamondbacks did score some late runs here to make this 7-4 instead of 7-1. But their offense has also been very, very bad recently. So the only reason why they've won games as of late has been their pitching. That is the only reason why coming into today's game, they had one of the longest winning streaks in baseball, the second longest winning streak in baseball coming into today's game. But the bullpen didn't help. Ryan Thompson sucked tonight. He went out there and could not get Zac out of that inning. He had to get 1 out, and instead he gave up 2 hits. Multiple runs scored. He did strike out 1 to finally get out of the inning. But, again, there's guys that have been staples of both this rotation and this bullpen whose jobs are in jeopardy when other players return because, again, it feels like the margins are razor thin. And so many of the other arms in the bullpen have been pitching incredibly well that it's starting to feel like potentially Ryan Thompson or Kevin Ginkel, who we didn't really foresee necessarily being options to not be in the bullpen or on the major league roster anymore, might be, right? Because it's hard to imagine some of these other guys that have been pitching extremely well, like Loizaga, Johnny Lasagna. You got Taylor Clark, who's been pitching extremely well. Hell, Paul Sewald is 9 for 9 now in closing opportunities or save opportunities. I shouldn't say that out loud, should I? But anyway. Just not a great performance tonight from Ryan Thompson. Pfaadt did what you want Brandon Pfaadt to do out of the bullpen. He came in, gave the Diamondbacks 3 innings pitched after Zac, couldn't get out of the 5th. He saves quite a bit of bullpen arm for game 3 of this series, and he gives the Diamondbacks 3 innings pitched with 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. Pfaadt was damn good tonight. But that's the most that you can hope to get out of Brandon Pfaadt. You cannot expect him as a bullpen arm to come into a game and give you more than that. What's nice though is that it's not Joe Ross and it's not James McCann, so you don't have to really worry about the game turning into a complete blowout. Even though by the time he came in, they were down 7-1, right? But Brandon for 3 innings kept the score where it was at and gave the Diamondbacks an opportunity to come back, and they tried their best to muster up and come back there in the 9th inning, but they fell short. And again, they fell short because they were in such a hole. And that has been the story time and time again when it comes to this starting pitching and especially Zac Gallen performances. And Julio says, I guess Torrey chewing out the batters didn't have much impact. I did not know that Torrey chewed out the batters. I haven't had any reports on that.
Yeah, that was talked about yesterday. Apparently, Torrey called in the lineup post game yesterday to have a conversation.
He tried. I mean, give him credit for trying.
Let's give it a little bit of let's wait for a longer sample size here.
That's fair.
The Torrey magic hasn't been worked yet.
Yeah. He used too much of it on the starting rotation, but obviously didn't use enough on Zac Gallen. And again, Gallen's owed a lot of money this year, and Gallen is most likely, I feel like 99% sure Gallen will not be a part of this team after this year, right? Because now that the qualifying offer situation is dead, there's not that attached to him. And now that he's had this kind of body of work over his past few seasons, dating back to 2024, I don't think Zac Gallen is in the running to get like an elite pitching contract in baseball any longer as well. But again, just because he is one of the highest paid starting pitchers in the rotation, I don't think saves him from being again the guy that is out of the starting rotation. The decisions the Diamondbacks have made over the past 6 months have very much been the opposite of how this team has operated in the past. I don't want to say it's like desperation, but I think they're getting to the point where, they've seen all they feel like they can see out of certain guys, and you can't imagine them suddenly becoming something different, right? Gallen has to have something that's going on with him. Gallen has to be tipping pitches or doing something, especially when it comes to his fastball. I believe he's tipping on his fastball, and I think that's the reason why he is not fooling anybody with it. Plus, when you look at his pitch mix, 28% four-seam, 24% slider, 22% changeup, he was staying away from his four-seam. Zac Gallen usually throws his four-seam fastball much more than that. I don't want to see Gallen throwing it over 5%. But, I mean, his fastball, again, a lot of uncompetitive pitches there, and quite a few that were right there in the zone that got hit for home runs or hits. The Rangers also just kind of singled the Diamondbacks to death, man. They got a lot of dinky, crappy hits tonight, and it sucked to see because, it's what kept that fifth inning going. It's what ran up the score for the Rangers to score 4 runs in the inning, and it just kept, getting worse, it felt like. So I don't know what I would do in regards to the starting rotation. But when you got Corbin Burnes coming back, I think, again, you just have to be very realistic, and you can't, you can't have that nostalgia impacting you. Just like the decision to DFA Alek Thomas and now trade him, you are moving on past guys that you have given multiple chances to reclaim their past glory and get back to a level that you feel helps you win baseball games. And I feel like Gallen might be at that point, right? They still need him. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see here in the next 2 months if a decision is made by Gallen. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's made before Corbin Burnes returns and the Diamondbacks consider bringing Brandon Pfaadt back to the starting rotation. That's kind of a crazy prediction or idea. I doubt that happens, but I also wouldn't be shocked by it. I don't think anything this team does now would shock me, considering the way things have gone and what they feel they need to do in order to continue to make this team competitive. I do believe that the Ryan Waldschmidt call-up was the right move, and I think it's going to still pay dividends as time goes on, right? But again, there's going to be a tough conversation to be had about Zac Gallen here very soon. And again, tonight did not help the case for Gallen to stay in the starting rotation. Diamondbacks dropped to 20-21 on the season, which means we don't know when we'll see Perdomo go back up Mount 500, but perhaps tomorrow is that night. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of this break, we're going to talk about the offense. We're going to talk about a little prediction that I made on Monday's show, and of course, we're going to give credit where credit is due once again to Ildemaro Vargas for being the best player on this baseball team. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Nights like tonight are made for pure edibles and the wonderful candies that they have to offer. Of course, I am going to have a hard time getting to sleep after watching this offense or, this pitching staff give up this many runs.
Understandable.
A lot of things are bad about this game, but good folks at Pure Edibles will help make it better. They have a full line of candy, not just gummies, though they do have gummies. They have their version of Starburst that they call Kicks. They have soft candies that they call Chews that are like caramels. And hard candy. So whatever your little heart desires, they have a candy for you. They also have a wide variety of effects, which are clearly listed on each tin, as well as the wonderful flavors that they have for each candy. And of course, they have gummies offering sleep support, as well as candies with uplifting effects derived from unique cannabinoids. They also have their collaboration with Mother Road Brewing Company, one of the best breweries in the entire state of Arizona. They bring you the Noble Road's new Tower Station IPA all-in-one. That's right. The delicious Tower Station IPA can now be found in a smooth THC all-in-one device. This offering captures the crisp citrus and piney hops of Arizona's favorite IPA. No waiting, no pouring, just a good tasting high whenever you want it. Go find yourself some pure edibles products from one of over 150 dispensaries across Arizona, now including True Leaf. And One AZ Credit Union is rooted in Arizona and invested in you. Their mission is to help Arizonans live their best financial lives, no matter what that is. Whether you're looking to get started on your home ownership journey, whether you are looking to buy a new car, start a business, or plan for what's next. One AZ is part of the community, and they are proud to be celebrating 75 years of dedicated service to Arizona. And they are a staple, at least in my part of town. I have a One AZ right by my house. And of course, they have 25 branches here in Arizona with an online banking app where you can access your money even easier. One AZ branches are your one-stop shop for all of your financial needs, whether you need a one-on-one financial coaching or document notarized. Their friendly associates are ready to help you at branches across the state. For a limited time right now, you can open a new checking account and complete qualifying activities to earn $350 new member bonus. Use code CHK358. That's code CHK358. Terms and conditions apply. Visit oneazcu.com for all the details. And Damon, I knew it was going to be a miserable night against Mackenzie Gore. I knew Zac Gallen was going to be bad, and I knew Gore was going to be good. But just to prove that I knew that, in case you missed it on Monday, here's video of me saying that exact thing. Game 2, you got Zac Gallen going up against Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore, 5.18 ERA, 48 strikeouts. Zac Gallen, 4.70 ERA, 25 strikeouts. Don't love the lefty matchup there in game 2, along with Zac Gallen on the mound. So, I mean, honestly, in this one, the best hope is that the Diamondbacks can kind of sneak out with game 1 and game 3 here. If they somehow find a way to win all 3, then we'll start overreacting accordingly. But last but not least, we got Ryan. No, they didn't do the thing. And
no belief in Zac Gallen from our guy Derek.
Am I wrong?
No faith. I mean, I believe my agenda here is that Zac Gallen listens to this podcast. He's a religious listener of the PHNX Dbacks podcast.
So upset with me when
he heard that lack of faith, and that's what kind of inspired him, I guess.
Oh, you mean to tell me he's just been like boo-hooing this whole time just because I said he was going to be bad?
Yeah, because you don't believe in him and it hurts his feelings.
I think that if Zac Gallen was a real stud, he would have shoved it in my face. That's what I think.
It's 100% the truth.
He didn't shove it in my face.
I'm coping.
I know. He should have shoved it in my face more, but he didn't. But again, the offense didn't do much to help Zac Gallen tonight, Damon. Let's be honest. It's weird because here I go again blaming the offense on a night where they did score 4 runs and eventually did put up at least a decent effort.
Too little too late, though, man.
Definitely too little too late. Definitely too little too late, right? But, when you're talking about Gallen, like, again, Gallen has certain statistics right now that are truly troublesome. In fact, his fastball whiff percentage is the lowest that it's ever been in his career. It's currently at 4.5%, Damon.
Not great.
His whiff percentage over the past years have been 23.5% with the fastball, 17.1%, 16.1%, 20%, 19.3%, 13.1%, 12.9%, and now a career low at 4.5%. Without the fastball setting anything up or the fastball getting swings and misses on it, he's ineffective. And again, it's the reason why I do believe that this goes beyond just a bad stretch for Gallen. I do believe that, this comes to a point where you truly start questioning if, he's going to be able to get things back on track, what's going to happen with his spot in the rotation. And, if the Diamondbacks are going to do the right thing once again to help this team win baseball games. But the offense didn't do much early. Right, we did have an Ildemaro Vargas solo home run with 1 out in the 2nd inning, and Vargy continues to be, the most incredible baseball player on this team, as we predicted.
In the world.
As everyone knew. 103.9 miles per hour off the bat, 422 feet to left center field for his 7th home run of the year. But after that, you wouldn't get much else from this team. Again, you got a walk in the inning from Gurriel, then 3 straight outs in the 3rd, 3 straight outs in the 4th, 3 straight outs in the 5th, 3 straight outs again in the 6th, right? Or no, excuse me. Corbin Carroll did get a single in the 6th, and that would be the first hit to break up that stretch. But Mackenzie Gore just dominated the Diamondbacks tonight. He went 8 innings, and he allowed 3 hits total, with the only one that was worth a damn being the Ildemaro Vargas solo home run. He struck out 5 and walked 1. It was a very almost Eduardo Rodriguez performance as of late. And I just knew it. I knew it with a lefty on the mound. The Diamondbacks they have no other lineup to turn to. They have no ability to adapt to a lefty on the mound. So it's almost an automatic L. Left for L for the Diamondbacks when it comes to that. But they did manage, as we discussed when we started the show, to put together a little bit of a comeback in the 9th inning. Started with a Corbin Carroll walk, then Tim Towle walked, then Nolan Arenado walked. And there's that patience that we've been missing all this entire game from this lineup, and this patience that we've been missing for a very long stretch. Like, don't get me wrong, the Diamondbacks scored 4 runs tonight, but they are very lucky to have won as many games as they have won with the way their offense has been performing. So at the very least, at least when it was in crunch time, it was nice to see the Diamondbacks, finally have some patience at the plate, put together some walks, load the bases for Ildemaro Vargas, who singled and brought in Corbin Carroll to make the game 7-2 at the time. Then Lourdes Gurriel did ground into a force out, but that scored Tim Towle to make it 7-3. And then Gabriel Moreno hit a sac fly to Evan Carter. Nolan Arenado scored 7-4. But Jose Fernandez, who we covet on this show, we would die for on this show, struck out on ball 4, which would have at least brought one Ryan Waldschmidt to the plate to possibly tie it up with 2 runners on. Instead, he strikes out.
And we all know what Waldschmidt would have done.
We know what Waldschmidt would have done. That's why we all wanted to get to that point.
Correct.
But like I said, I don't know. I love our guy, Jose Fernandez, but dating back to April 28th, he has been struggling. Dating back to April 28th, Damon, he has 3 hits.
Yeah, it's not great right now. It's not great with Jose Fernandez right now. I know a lot of people have problems with, maybe a little bit of a lack of consistency in the playing time. Our guy Mark here in the chat is saying, that Jose just, he's not walking at all. Like, he's just up there swinging at everything.
Nope.
And that, essentially that, in his opinion, that's not really a Torrey problem. So regardless of whether, you stand on, where you stand on that issue, I think we can agree that Jose Fernandez is definitely cooled off a little bit. Still a lot of hope for him. I don't want him sent down. I think that we should show belief in him and be like, you know what, you're a Major League Baseball player. Figure it out. But
I don't think he needs to go down right now.
There comes a time and a place where it becomes too much. But I'm not personally there yet. But yeah, definitely not playing the level of baseball that he was for a stretch there.
11 games, he's slashing 115, 233, 115 for a 349 OPS. He has 3 hits, 2 runs scored, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts.
2BMC says it's because they didn't build the statue. I think that's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Mighty Schumann thinks he should be in Reno. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of it's a conflicting topic. Reno
if you're going to get him regular at bats. If he's going to get regular at bats at a major league level, at least for the time being, until there's a roster issue, like, just show me a better option, right? I think Barros is also struggling in a similar fashion over that stretch. His numbers might even be worse. Lourdes Gurriel has not been very good. I don't like right now until Jordan Lawler comes back, until Pavin Smith comes back. I don't foresee a need for them to make any moves like that because they need the depth and they need him to continue to develop even at a major league level. Even if he's going to fail, he has to know that he's going to get put back out there and he's going to have to get back at it again. Right. But he's definitely in a slump over that stretch and it sucks to see. And it does, again, it makes it hopefully a little more understandable to people, Damon, if they do send him down.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be people like us who would literally die for Jose Fernandez. All right.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that, long term, still have, a lot of belief in him. He's a little bit of a swing happy guy. I think that we see that oftentimes when players get their first action in the majors, like when they're seeing stuff that looks like it's in the zone, they're going up there and being aggressive with it. And that can lead to hot starts, but then you get kind of a drop off and that is stark. I think that long term it works itself out, but in this moment in time, it doesn't feel great right now. Like with Jose up in that circumstance, you kind of felt like at the end of the game that he was gonna K there.
And again, there's just too many guys not hitting right now.
Yeah.
So it's not even just Jose Fernandez's fault. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 0 for 3 today with a walk. He's hitting 194 with a 501 OPS. Gabby Moreno 0 for 3 today with an RBI and a K. He is hitting 203 with a 593 OPS.
Not good enough.
Tim Tawa 152, 520 OPS. I mean, there's
you know what? That's Tim Tawa. Like that, those ones I can accept even, but it's the Gabbies and the Lourdeses that I think are really bringing you down here at this portion of the season in particular, where you need a boost from guys that have been starters for this team for a long time, and they're just going up there on the offensive side at least and just giving you nothing.
They're giving you nothing. Ketel Marte 0 for 4. His batting average is down to 208. There's a good chance that he could sink down below 200 here with one or two more bad games.
I mean, that would hurt to look at.
A guy that we literally went to war for to not trade, and here we sit.
The pro Ketel trade people are they're feeling good right now.
They still want him traded, even though he would not have very much value right now. But say what you will, the offense definitely is not helping the problem with the Zac Gallen, right? But up to this point, the pitching has been so good that you feel like 4 runs tonight would have been enough if Michael Soroka or Eduardo Rodriguez were on the mound, right? Kind of feel like that.
Well, I mean,
they just won a 1-0 game just one day ago.
I think honestly, and I know that you said like you don't want to like feel like you're giving an excuse to Zac Gallen or something because he was the reason that you lost this game tonight. But I think the offense deserves just as much blame. Like the offense ending with 4 when it's a 7-1 game and you have 3 outs to play with and you need to come back from 6 runs deficit. That doesn't really move me at all. Like the Rangers. Maybe at the end, they're kind of puckering a little bit and being like, well, we don't want to get the tying run at the plate, so let's get this out here. And I think that there becomes like an urgency. But at first, I don't think that they were like panicking at all. I think they're like, oh, okay, a couple runs. That's nice. That's cute for the Diamondbacks. They gotta get a whole lot more than that to complete this comeback. And so I think the offense really let you down in this game. Like they provided nothing. If you get to the, what is it, around the 5th inning when things really started falling off of a cliff, the wheels kind of started unraveling. Like, what if you have, instead of 1 run, you have 3 runs? Maybe things are a little bit different. And this offense is just, they can't produce consistently right now. And it was supposed to be the best part of this team. Like, that's the biggest issue is that you expect your offense to be above average, and they definitely have not been that.
You know who broke the offense? The Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm having nightmare flashbacks of going into that White Sox series at like 6-7 games over 500, and then you're like, well, and we got a decent stretch of ball games here, and then ever since then, it's just been it's been a disaster.
Since game 2 of that series, they scored 1 run in that game. That was just the 3rd time in the month of April that they had scored less than 2 runs. Okay. Since then, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 occurrences since April 23rd. 9 occurrences of scoring 2 runs or less. And oddly enough, they've actually won a few of those.
Yeah, they have.
That's what's crazy. But they've lost far more than they've won, right?
They lost a game giving up 1.
Oh, God. Yeah, they sure did. Remember that one. That was against Paul Skeens. Our guys in Colorado were ready to make a no-hit graphic tonight for Paul Skeens facing off against the Rockies. But That's how things go, and this offense really needs to figure things out. One guy that does not need to figure anything, though, is Ildemaro Vargas. Ildemaro Vargas, once again, is our king snake. He was 2 for 4 tonight with a home run, and where would this team once again be without this man and his production? 2 for 4, 1 home run, 1 run scored, 2 RBI for Vargy. And he continues to be the Diamondbacks' best player in every way imaginable. Damon, this is from our guy, Steve Zinsmeister, coming into tonight's game, or actually this was after the home run. Vargas leads the Diamondbacks in home runs with 7, hits with 44, RBI with 25, batting average at 336, and OPS at 940.
Naturally. Who didn't see this coming? Definitely not me. That's for sure.
Are we done doing the apologizing bit?
Well, I mean, obviously the hitting streak is over, but I'm fine still apologizing. Ildemaro Vargas is an all-star, Derek. I will do everything in my power to make this campaign happen after the horrible, disrespectful, awful things that I said about him in spring training when I said I didn't want to watch Ildemaro Vargas play baseball, game in and game out for this team, because I was wrong. In fact, if Ildemaro Vargas wasn't playing baseball game in and game out for this team, we might be the worst organization in the sport right now, because the offense already stinks and he's all of the offensive production. So Ildemaro, I'm sorry. And also thank you for keeping us from having to watch the 30th ranked offense in baseball.
I like to view it differently, Damon.
Okay.
My daughter came to me yesterday, and she told me that she found out from her school, because she's doing, believe it or not, production work. She is working her way to sitting behind that desk. My job
is on notice. Yeah, 100%.
Back there.
This is one of those like outsourcing situations where they're like, he's gonna get a little bit just too expensive. We can find cheap. We can find out someone cheaper to do the job. Derek's got it in the works.
Well, now that she's been doing production behind the scenes stuff, she's running sound at like musicals and
I don't like where this is going.
Performance and such. She's very good at it. I'm very proud of her. She's brilliant and I love her. But she's learning how the sausage is made when it comes to certain things involving school productions, including that high schools have to pay a fee, like a licensing fee, in order for them to do a musical. So certain musicals that they would want to do, let's say like if you wanted to do like Hamilton's far too expensive for them to afford to be able to do Hamilton.
You can't just do Hamilton?
No, you have to pay the people that put on Hamilton for the rights as a high school to perform Hamilton.
So the people that make plays are holding public schools at gunpoint.
Think about how many high schools there are across the country that are doing musicals.
Give us your money.
They are just raking in the dough. Well, she also found out.
These are children.
These are high school children, yes. And they're very good at singing, by the way. I will give a shout out to Diego at her school, because that tiny man has the voice of an angel. And some of the kids that she works with are amazing singers, right? What I will say is this.
He was special.
$20,000 is how much she found out last night it costs for a motivational speaker to come to her school to give them a speech in like their auditorium.
We're in the long line of business.
I'm quitting this job starting on Friday so that I can become a motivational speaker, touring high schools around the country, telling them the tale of me being a moron that ascended to levels in the sports reporting world far beyond my wildest dreams, right? But again, Damon, we didn't need to pay $20,000 to bring in a motivational speaker here for you to do what you did with Ildemaro Vargas. We simply needed you to be the true hater that you are, to come out and say the things you said about him to motivate him.
Yeah.
I would argue, even though we've made you apologize on this show profusely over the past month and a half, I would argue that perhaps Vargas doesn't even do what he's doing without your disapproval, without your, I don't know,
encouragement. I'd call it
lack of faith in him?
I call it encouragement, and frankly, Derek, it's priceless. I think that you can't really even put a price to it. If you're Ildemaro Vargas, and I'm just throwing this out there, hey, do with this what you will. But when you're going through your negotiation from a salary standpoint and you're thinking back to, remember, prior to Damon making that statement and post Damon making that statement, the player that, you were valued in Major League Baseball versus after, maybe a cut to my way is due. A small cut. I'm not asking for a big cut. I'm just saying that, I do agree that, I at least played a big enough role here that I deserve some of it.
Right. Scott says your reverse psychology psyop ostensibly worked.
Yeah, and
can't say it didn't.
2% of the salary. I think that's more than fair and more than enough of what I've done, considering that he might have an all-star appearance on his resume after I'm all said and done.
Piece of Yoshi says I'd call it bulletin board material. I agree with that.
Sure, call it what you will. It's got a million different names, but as long as it works,
Also, Sean is saying, so you're telling me when I saw a play with this girl I was interested in high school at O'Connor, same school by the way. The school had to pay Disney. It was Beauty and the Beast. Yes, they did.
That's
they did
nuts
have to
to
play.
me.
If it was Disney's Beauty and the Beast, yes, they did.
They did High School Musical at mine, so they definitely paid Disney for that as well.
Give me money to let you do that. There was one more thing up there, and that was Scotty Mack referring to Mick Foley and Damon. I think as we go to break, it's time. I have to leave with telling everybody that my name is Matt Foley. I am thrice divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Now, you kids think you're going to go out there and grab the world by the tail and pull it down and wrap it around and put it in your pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're going to find out as you go out there in life that you're not going to amount to jack squat, just like this offense. Sorry, I had to put that out there. You're going to end up living in a van down by the river. That's the rest of it goes. Damon, let's go to break. On the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at the numbers that we don't really want to look at, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's do that here in 2 minutes. You're watching the PHNX Motivational Speaker Show.
That's where this show misses Kevin.
Well, of course, we could all use help managing our energy bills every month here in the desert. It doesn't matter what month it is. But as we get into June, July, and August, things are going to be miserable and those bills are going to be high. So APS wants to help you out with that. They have several ways to help you do just that. In fact, APS customers can check the monthly plan comparison section on their energy bill every single month to see which rate plan could save you the most money for the month, or in fact confirm that you are on the best rate plan for your situation. Rate plan options can help you save money, and they're all right there in blue type on your latest energy bill from APS. Plus, they have budget billing, which can average your bill out over the course of the year so that you avoid those high spikes during the summer months. And of course, you can plan accordingly, knowing what your bill is going to be from month to month. Find all your options to manage your bill at aps.com/let's talk right now. And of course, if you want to get out to watch some baseball games, you got to do it with Game Time. Game Time is the app to get into ball games. They give fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's an aesthetically pleasing app, and it also has new ways to save you money and save you time all the time. Plus, of course, it's dead simple to use. All you got to do is buy your tickets knowing that the Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets on time at the best price, no surprises. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. Plus, you can see exactly what the view is going to be from your seat before you make that purchase. So once again, there are no surprises when you purchase. Zone deals will help you save even more. Just select an area of the ballpark where you want to sit and let Game Time do the rest, and they will find you the best available deal. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today, especially those MLB tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app right now. Damon, what time is it?
Game time?
It is. It's game time. It's game time. All right, well, let's take a look at the numbers from this game because they did get better before the end of it, but things are still kind of bad. Diamondbacks lose this one by a score of 7-4. The Rangers had 3 extra base hits to the Diamondbacks 2. Runners in scoring position, Diamondbacks just had 3 opportunities tonight total on a night where they just had 4 hits. Meanwhile, the Rangers were 4 for 9, and they took advantage of their opportunities. Of course, 44.4% hard hit percentage for the Diamondbacks to 26.9% for the Rangers. That's hilarious. And the expected, well, it's because the Rangers had
it's
so many
awful.
hits. They had 11 hits, and so many of their hits were like 80 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. It's insane. When you look at the Rangers, totals here, their exit velos were pathetic. But so many of the sub 95 mile per hour exit velos, even Ezekiel Duran's home run was not a hard hit ball. 92.4 miles per hour on that.
Yeah, it wasn't a hard hit ball at all. I think that's why Corbin was running after it so hard, because off the bat, that a ball that's hit that hard doesn't, usually go over the fence.
It was going to be a foul ball. I think Bert was convinced it was going to be a foul ball before it landed out. But yeah, a lot of soft singles. A Jake Berger 84.9 mile per hour single. You got Ezekiel Duran's other hit, the 83.7 mile per hour freaking single with a minus 14-degree launch angle. Like, that shouldn't be a hit at all. So
0.660 XBA.
The
what?
Yeah, 251 XBA, 229 XBA for these two teams. But
I'm saying the home run.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, that is true. 100% true.
Oh my God.
100% true.
That's horrible.
Home run in 11 out of 30 parks, regardless.
How is that possible then?
I don't know. It does have an XBA. He's 100% right. The XBA on that one is 0.60.
That's insane.
6. Expected batting average of 6% hits go out for that one. But it's this stretch, Damon. Brandon Nimmo, Jake Berger, Josh Jung all had singles below 75 miles per hour. 74.6 for Nimmo, 71.7 for Jake Berger, Josh Jung. I mean, the Diamondbacks did not play good defense behind their pitchers tonight either, so that didn't help. And it always feels like when Zach sees those balls start to sneak through the infield and not get gobbled up by Cattell and by Perdomo, who made a really bad play where he slipped on a ball that should have been an out, and instead a run scored. There was just a lot of bad things out there.
And John's talking about that here, saying, I think tongue-in-cheek, that Gallen's on the phone with MLB appealing that call to make it an error so that all those earned runs get sent back. And honestly,
it probably should have been.
I agree.
It probably should have been.
Horrible play. And in a play that ended the game, it was the dagger essentially. And that's the kind of stuff out of Perdomo where it's like, even if it's not happening at the plate, we need better from that standpoint. You can't allow that to happen.
100%. So just kind of a gross game. This is one that I would agree with Tori. We need to flush this one. This one's a flush. This one we also knew was going to be a problem before we got there. But I again think a tough conversation needs to be had about Gallen. I think a tough conversation needs to be had about his whiff rate on his fastball. And I do think that he is quickly becoming the likely candidate to be out as far as the starting rotation is concerned.
They'd probably trade him, right? You would think?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, what are you going to trade him for? Cash consideration?
No, maybe? I think you could get – I mean, if you can get a player for Alek Thomas, you can get a player for Zac Gallen.
I know.
I think last year, they could have gotten a trade for Zac Gallen. It's just that
they weren't getting offered anything for him of substantial value.
Exactly. And I think that, maybe this year, if we're talking around the trade deadline, maybe things are different. Maybe there's less starting pitching available and he's more coveted. You never know, right?
Well, Candace asks a very good question. She says, who's going to pick him up, though? I'll tell you who's going to pick him up. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Just like they picked up Alek Thomas. And we're going to talk about the Diamondbacks actually trading Alek Thomas to the Dodgers. It is just the second trade with LA in Mike Hazen's tenure. God bless him for that. But this one hurts, and we might come to regret this one a lot. We're going to talk about it on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. You got to do your research if you're ever involved in an accident or serious injury, and that is because the lawyer you hire does matter. After serious injury, you want an attorney that's focused on your best outcome and not how much money the firm makes. That's the husband and wife law team. That is Mark and Alexis Pryor. Their team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience with multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. The reason why that's important is because the Arizona State Bar has certified less than 1% of all attorneys as specialists in wrongful death and in injury and wrongful death litigation, making them experts. They also go to trial for their clients, and they know what needs to be done. in a courtroom to prevail in front of a jury should you need to go to trial. But of course, they can't guarantee the outcome of any case. They can make some promises to you as their client. You can cancel your fee agreement with them at any time for any reason. You'll receive as much in your pocket as they receive for their fee, even if they have to reduce their attorney fees to do so. And you may speak with one of their lawyers as often as you choose about anything you want to discuss, including Alek Thomas being traded to the Dodgers. But if you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them PHNX sent you. And the Fanatics app is becoming your all-in-one destination for every part of your sports fandom. You can get official gear for your favorite team and players, including the latest drops, exclusive releases, and must-have merch all in one place. But it's more than just shopping. You can play free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, which you can spend on jerseys, game tickets, collectibles, and more. Let me tell you, I used to play games on my phone for no money, for nothing, just for, I guess, fun, allegedly, Damon. But now I don't do that anymore. If I'm playing a game on my phone, it's for me to get fan cash, and that's what you can do with the Fanatics app. Of course, right now, you can check out the free games in the Fanatics app throughout the playoffs for your chance to win fan cash, and you can play the free home run pick'em game in the Fanatics app for your chance to win $250 in fan cash. It's all in one place, all built for fans like us. Download the Fanatics app and start cashing in on your fandom today. Get it today at gophnx.com/fanatics. App access open to all. 21 and over only to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited. Well, Damon and I can't wait to watch baseball in person. We love to me and him do not get together and watch live baseball often enough. But more importantly, we get to watch live baseball with you guys for two PHNX takeovers of Chase Field, which are presented by our friends at Circle K. Thursday, June 4th versus the Dodgers, and Tuesday, August 25th versus the Cubs. We're going to be having a great time out there. We're going to be in the all-you-can-eat section at the Bar S all-you-can-eat section, and we are going to stuff our faces with hot dogs, popcorn, chips, and other food, and be just completely fat, and that's okay. That's the time to be it. There's no judgment in the all-you-can-eat section, okay? It's just smiles and full bellies. And you can join us. Your ticket includes PHNX Dbacks merch, a choice of a shirt or hat. You get your game ticket in the Bar S all-you-can-eat section, and diehards do get 20% off that ticket. So get your tickets now at gophnx.com/events. Damon, we woke up to terrible news this morning. Probably the worst case scenario. It almost felt like a nightmare, and that nightmare wasn't a nightmare at all. It was reality. The reality is that the Diamondbacks have traded Alek Thomas after designating him for assignment to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Really? Really? The Dodgers, of all teams? Mike Hazen has only made one trade in his time with the Dodgers. Good on him for that. The Diamondbacks, meanwhile, received 17-year-old outfielder Jose Requena. I think it's going to be Requena. In return, Requena has been assigned to the Dominican Summer League, and he, at 17 years old, Damon, looks like a beast. He was an undrafted,
Well, he's international. He's not
international signee,
draft eligible.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. But he went undrafted. He signed with the Dodgers not too long ago. And again, he's Venezuelan, so there's a good chance the Diamondbacks have considerable information, possibly already been scouting him. Seems like a very, very far off prospect at 17 years old. However, the Diamondbacks did get something in return for Thomas. Meanwhile, the Dodgers scientists are going to fix Alek Thomas's leg kick in a laboratory. And he's going to hit 325 and be the greatest player in the National League West.
This is going to be the biggest test of Dodgers voodoo magic that we have seen yet, guys. Yes. It really will be, because this is a hitter that is seemingly broken, a hitter that seemingly can't figure it out at the plate, despite being in an organization and around a bunch of guys who, not this year as much, but in the couple years prior to this, I mean, is Alek Thomas's lineup protection not up there with some of the best in baseball? He's being sandwiched by, the number one offense in baseball all around him, and yet he's not really contributing much to that at all. And I got to say, like, if this works out somehow for the Dodgers, I'm going to be pretty upset. But Derek, I don't have the same reaction that you do and that probably a lot of Diamondbacks fans do. I don't really care because I don't think it's going to work out.
8
Because Alek
years
Thomas is
in
getting
this
sent
organization.
straight to AAA, and he's the 5th outfielder for the Dodgers. And I think the worst case scenario that I'm envisioning is that he makes one big play in the playoffs that makes him like a Dodger for life. And everyone's like, wow, what a winning play that was. That would make me sick. But I don't really see it happening. I think much like the Diamondbacks, like I don't have a lot of belief in Alek Thomas figuring it out. And so I think he's embarking kind of on a journeyman part of his career here.
I agree.
But obviously it hurts a guy that you had this much belief in, that you liked as much as we like Alek Thomas, seeing him play for the team that you hate the most. It doesn't feel good. And so I'm kind of hoping that he just stays the 5th outfielder and stays in AAA the rest of the season.
That's my hope too, because I can't foresee where he's going to play. How is he going to outplay Andy Pajes, who is currently hitting 320 with a 910 OPS?
Who's the best player in baseball?
Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez, who's hitting 244 with a 700 OPS. Or are they going to bench Kyle Tucker?
Damon? No. None of those guys are getting benched for Alek Thomas.
Right. And on top of that, like, how does he get playing time to get better? Where does he factor in? I foresee the Dodgers possibly DFAing him themselves. That's what I think.
Oh, they absolutely could. I mean, it's if they need to make room for somebody and they pick somebody up that they like better at the trade deadline, no doubt.
But what makes me sick is the idea of how much Dodgers fans are going to love Alek Thomas.
Well, because he's Team Mexico, and
yeah,
that's the connection.
I don't like to make them happy, and I feel like just them acquiring Alek Thomas has made them happy. But hopefully their offense continues to be dog shit. Hopefully their outfielders are bad, but not worse than Alek. And I mean, hopefully we don't have to see Alek in the lineup beating us. That's what I don't want to see. I mean,
that's worst case scenario.
Yeah, I don't want to see them come back because they're playing the Dodgers here at the beginning of June. I don't want Thomas to be in their starting lineup. I don't want to see Alek Thomas even forget whether he's good or not. I don't want to see Alek Thomas in a Dodger uniform, period, let alone hitting against the Diamondbacks. I just don't want that. Say what you will. There are certain things that are sacred. And I know I get called a Dodger fan a lot on this show based on me one time on this show saying that they weren't the most hateable team.
You've said that
history.
genuinely no less than 20 times. You've been like, they're such likable guys.
We're always referencing the first time, though. We might talk about it again, but we're just going back to the time I said it.
You've gone back and said it again. You've doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down, Derek. I don't want to hear it.
But I will say that seeing Diamondbacks in Dodgers uniform, Damon, that makes me sick. That makes me sick. AJ Pollock, David Peralta.
It's an outfielder thing.
Alek Thomas.
It's an outfielder thing. Luis Gonzalez, may I add?
Yeah.
That one was bad.
Oh, are you going to do that?
That one hurt.
Oh, we're doing that? We're going to do that?
And not an outfielder, but O-Dog. Oh, that one hurt.
That one hurt a lot.
Like there were just, there's been, this has happened plenty of times. JD Martinez. There's another outfielder.
See, he didn't hurt as bad.
He didn't? I wanted him back so bad.
I wanted him back so bad, too. Damon, I had the biggest man crush on JD Martinez you've ever seen a boy have on another boy. But, hey, here we
Maze Devil brings up a great point. Says, Damon, I hope you're enjoying the Gambler Sand in fantasy. Mm-hmm. I think that this was why we drafted him, chat. It was to emotionally hedge Shohei Ohtani, where if things happen positively, I gain something out of it, money, hopefully, in this circumstance. And if he plays bad, then I get to laugh right there alongside everybody else. But I did want to go back to this Alek Thomas situation for a second, Derek, because I like Raquena a lot for what you got in this deal. I mean, listen, there's a great chance, like a 99% chance he ends up being nothing. And that's fine.
Sure. Most prospects don't work out.
100%. But Mike is sitting there, I think it was Mike that was answering the question, saying that, there were like 3 teams that were interested or something like that.
Several calls.
Yeah, but that was the only player that they got offered in the deal. The rest were cash considerations. And Raquena is a guy that was, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Maybe I'm butchering it. But he was a guy that was signed in January for almost $400,000 at 17 years old. And as you mentioned, Derek, and this was something I said to you before the show, as a Venezuelan prospect, I would imagine that a team like the Diamondbacks that has such a good scope of the Venezuelan game right now, and just kind of in general, Parra, Montero, Ildemaro Vargas, Gabby Moreno, like, you can go on and on with the Gino. There's a ton of Venezuelan connections. I think that they've had this guy on their radar, and that he must have just kind of gotten priced out and signed with the Dodgers in the international signing pool, and that they use this as an opportunity to kind of charge the Dodgers a division tax, if you will, and say, well, we got some other teams that are offering cash that we'll take instead of your offer, unless you give us this lottery ticket who might not amount to anything, but at 6'3", 230 pounds at 17, has the power profile to be a game changer if it somehow all works out. So as far as I'm concerned, as Mays has alluded to a couple of times in the chat, we just got right-handed hitting Yordan Alvarez for Alek Thomas. And this is the end of the Dodgers dynasty in real time. We're watching it. We're witnessing it happen, Derek, when they traded away the future of the franchise to a division rival for a fifth outfielder.
Yeah, well, and Mark's asking why do you like him? Besides Damon's, hope and wishing.
I don't like him based off of anything other than
pounds
he's
for
massive.
17-year-old.
He's young, and he's from a country that I think is niche enough, but also like good enough at baseball that it's clear that the Diamondbacks have a connection to Venezuela in particular, that they have scouting networks there that are pretty, built out and resources into that country, because there's just been such a contingency of Venezuelan players in this organization. So I would imagine that they have people, connections, scouts that have known about this guy for a while, and that he's somebody that they believe is projectable at the next level. And again, he's 17. He's probably not going to do anything, but give me a lottery ticket over cash that I personally will never see for Alek Thomas. I'd rather have the player who maybe someday ends up being something.
Well, as we said, they also signed Perdomo's brother, who we thought's name was Geraldo.
Is it not?
It doesn't seem to be, because now what we're seeing in regards to his name, it's Nikola Perdomo.
He's Russian?
Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
He's Ukrainian?
Yeah.
This is Nikolai Perdomo.
Nikola. But anyway, I saw some chat. We talked about Gonzo, right? Being a Dodger. Maybe we'll ask Gonzo himself about that, because we finally pinned this man down, and he's coming on this show. Next Monday is Gonzo Monday. We're going Gonzo on Monday.
Should I wear my jersey, or you think that's a little bit too much?
I think we're both going to wear our jerseys. I think we both should wear our
turn. Oh, you want us to wear our turn ahead the clock jerseys?
Turn the clock ahead jerseys with Gonzo.
You know I'm going to screw it up.
Yeah, no, I know you are, but
you don't think that Gonzo would find that a little cringe? Maybe.
Dual
unison jerseys, full baseball uniform.
I think Gonzo would find it to be electric. I think he's going to love it when we do it. But
I just bought a new piece. That's what I was referencing. I think it's like a 2004 Diamondbacks jersey, like right before Gonzo left the organization. And I'm pretty excited about it. So
he will be live, but he will not be in studio. I think he's joining us he might be on the road or I don't know. He's got jobs to do over there at the ballpark, even when he's here in town. But he will be joining us live on the show. So make sure to get us your questions for Gonzo. And most importantly, make sure to join us for that, because it is going to be a great one. And we are definitely going to ask him about Ildemaro Vargas a lot on that show. So
now the tuxedos are starting to seem a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. All right. Well, we'll see you guys, of course, tomorrow for another post-game show. Make sure to join us for that. In the meantime, you can follow us on social. I am at Cap_Caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG there at the end. And we're all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show's at PHNX_Dbacks. But as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We thank you guys so much for your time. It is a commodity. We appreciate you sharing a little bit of it with us. And we will be back tomorrow with another post-game show, like I said. So until then, have yourselves a wonderful evening. Behave yourself, Mark. And remember, kids, Baseball is fun.
Whoa, 1 second. We do have Maze Devil celebrating his 3 months of membership for the Supporters Club, which we appreciate. And it does work as a super chat, so I didn't want to, just kind of gloss over it real quick. Sorry to cut you off there, Derek, while you're doing your very professional outro. This is a professional podcast, but Maze Devil said, I heard Torey Lovullo had a meeting with Carlos Mendoza to improve upon the art of losing. He loves it so much he will do whatever it takes to lose. What are your thoughts on that, Derek?
You're all ridiculous. That's my thoughts on that. And again,
if you want to become
stop trying to mess up our dinner over at Tori's house on Sunday. Okay, that's what I think. I think you're all trying to screw up dinner for me and Damon on Sunday. And look, we don't make a lot of money, so when someone offers us a free dinner in exchange for a bag of salad or whatever the hell it is Damon brings, it's fine.
Whoa,
let it slide. But anyway,
I brought tiramisu last week.
That was
give me a break for a second.
It was very good.
Anyway. I do want to say, if you want to become a Supporters Club member, like Maze Devil, like Sean, like Deborah, you can, of course, get that monthly chat that we will read here on the show if you so choose to use it here on the PHNX Dbacks show. You also get access to custom emojis and some members-only content, which we got to pick up here on the PHNX Sports side of things, and we'll try to recently. We've been slacking on the members-only content. Derek, let's commit to it. Let's get a headbands going later this week. I think that would be fun and something easy to do and that the people would enjoy. So shout out to all our supporters. Just an extra way, $5 a month to show some extra support and love to PHNX Sports. And we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we love you guys. We thank you guys once again for stopping by. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another post-game show. Until then, behave yourself. Emily, you behave yourself. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when your offense and pitching and everything can kind of work together at the same time in the same baseball game.
We all silly like the mayor.